This is the first sunset I've seen from North End all summer. The last time I was here, it was spring, and summer's almost over. And just a second ago, when I was just around the corner, the sun was still up above the clouds. Now there was some clouds down low, so technically I think the sunset is right about now. But if I had just been 2 minutes faster, I'd actually gotten the sun in the video. But you know, this place is just so spectacular. I've been coming here since as early as I can remember. I can remember standing down here on my bicycle with Grandpa Bill. I must have, been probably 4 years old. I don't know. I mean, I can remember I was here before then. I was coming down here probably, when I was 1 year old. But this land used to be owned by your family, and now, of course, it's part of a national historical site. But the Doe graveyard is right over there and right through those trees, and then there's the Indian graveyard right here next to it. So the Does made their graveyard right next to the Indian graveyard, and it's beautiful. And when I just came here, walked over here a second ago, there was a mullet jumping. So I'll always see the mullets jumping here in the summertime, and mosquitoes, pretty common. And there's not mosquitoes nowadays like there used to be, because they spray so much for them. But also there was a storm, and a couple weeks ago, and mosquitoes are usually a little heavier after the storms. But when I was a little kid, I mean, pretty much we're always just expecting mosquitoes, and you really deal with them. And our bodies, actually, it's a good biology lesson, because our bodies actually adjust to being able to adapt to mosquito bites. They're still annoying, but people who grow up around getting bit by mosquitoes actually develop what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word, but you adapt to it, a resistance to them. There's a protein, just like a venom. I don't know if it's technically called a venom when it comes to mosquitoes, but it's the same concept as other venoms. And as you get exposed to it, your body becomes less immune responsive to it. Adaptive. You might kind of like adaptive immunity, but it's kind of like the opposite, because you're really your immune response is actually not as active against it. As somebody who's never been bit by mosquitoes before, and they get bit by mosquitoes, they'll have like a big reaction to them. The birds are flying around. The water's still very warm. I saw, today, I saw a lot of the summer birds were back in Pea Island. So those birds that had left and gone somewhere for the hurricane, had a lot of them that come back. And so they must have just gone inland out a little ways, and now they came back, and they're still here getting plenty of fish in their bellies for the ones of them that will migrate. Some of them will stay all winter, but a lot of them will migrate. Well, just make good memories of things, and train your mind to make good memories. I think, one of the things I wanted to say when I came over here was about memories, actually. And so the memories of coming here into this spot stick with me through my life, and I hope that you'll get to spend. You've been here before, but not as many times as I would have liked for you to have been able to come to this place and see your family's heritage and land. But when we're young, we usually tend to make more vivid memories for different reasons, partly because our brain is growing so fast, and largely also because everything's so new. And when things are new, we tend to make memories when things are new. They stick with us. We have more emotions. When emotions are connected to things, especially emotions of happiness and thankfulness and all those kinds of emotions, laughter and happiness and humor tend to all be associated with making good positive memories and having those memories stick with us. And they've even shown that when you're trying to live and learn stuff, just like school stuff, you learn it, most people anyways, learn it better when they have some enjoyment from it and some happiness around it. And we also learn things, unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, we tend to also, when we're in a fearful state, things tend to get etched in really deeply. Or in a traumatic state, they get etched in very deeply as this different kind of memory. They're more emotional memories, and so we got to be very conscientious about how we face those kinds of memories so that we can resolve them, meaning we can deal with them so that they don't cause lifelong panic and anxiety, which they can if we don't just address them. We just have to address them. Nobody's life is perfect. Everybody's life has ups and downs and severe experiences, and we have to try to take the lesson from those things without carrying the burden of those things with us. But back to the good memories, as we're growing up, especially traditionally, kids tend to make the most out of the summer, when it's warm out and the day is long, and kids get out and they play and they do all sorts of new and exciting things, and traditionally we make just really good memories in summertime as we grow up if we don't waste it. I'm a little concerned about the kids of today who tend to not take advantage of the outdoors in the summertime, and there's always been people like that, but it's particularly an issue today because of all the electronic stuff that we have, and so and other things that are happening, but we can still make those memories as we get older too. And if we expose ourselves to new things, if we also make a conscious effort to be present, we know that mindfulness and being present in the moment is something that we can learn. And little kids tend to have a certain kind of presence and in the moment that just comes naturally. So things really stick in the mind in a certain way, but we can continue to do that as we get older. It's just as we get older, life kind of tends to take on certain kinds of mundane structures to it, and so we had to be very conscientious. It's more of an effort as we get older to try and put ourselves in situations where we can experience new things. A lot of times taking vacations and stuff like that as we get older. You're a long ways from having to really concern yourself with this too much. The main thing is you just got to make sure you live a full life as a child and as a young adult as you're growing up, and take advantage of experiences and put yourself into experiences. But then as you get more into adulthood, that you have to make an effort and to do these things. And I was just thinking, about this summer where I went out to Colorado and I met a lot of new people and did a lot of work and worked on my business but also did a lot of things. Fortunately, I love going outdoors, so it does not much of an effort for me to have to go do that. I just do it almost spontaneously and without even thinking about it. But doing that, I think I cannot remember. I'm 49 years old, and I've been thinking of when was the last time I made as many memories as I did this summer that stuck with me and as vivid as they are since I was a kid. There might have been some other summers in the past that I could think of that were really great experiences. The most closest thing I can think of, though, is when I was working on finishing my geology degree, back when I was in my late 20s, and we went to Colorado. Ironically, it was, or serendipity, or whatever, synchronicity. I was in Colorado again back then. That was also Colorado, but in New Mexico. But I did so much, and the people that I got to meet, and very specific people, just really did a lot for me this summer. So, and on so many different levels, things that I think are going to just have massive impacts on our future, the family's future, my future specifically, but your future, and then other people's futures, and things that were just healed a lot of things. I healed this summer in a lot of ways, and I don't know, but it was a summer that I can only compare to more of the summers that I had as a child. It was those kinds of memories, I got healthier. I just stayed active, and I did a pretty good job of eating well, and I could just feel the benefits of being healthier, and that too has a role to play. Some other things that I did that were just really good things to do, and listening to some other people, and some of their ideas on what can make a more enlightened experience to life, and it was good all the way around. Good progress. Progress is one of the things that really helps build our brain's plasticity. When we're making progress towards something, we create a lot of new neuronal connections, and that's been shown to really boost our happiness in life. Happiness has a lot to do with making forward progress. That, and also being grateful, and being outdoors and enjoying nature, and maintaining good health. It all works together. They're not independent of one another. It's a long video. I love you, and all of that said, to try and give you some words of wisdom. Yeah. So in a story form, and a little bit of documentation of time. It's just documenting a time. Since we're not together, I want to say some things that just sort of document some things. I know that Artist Grammy got to see you, and Aunt Mandy got to see you, and they told me a lot about what you're doing, and how you want to learn how to play the violin, and how well you're doing in school, and your dance, and they told me a little bit about what they knew about what your mother was doing, and how Estella was doing, and look at all the fish, and all these wonderful things. And I wish I could say more about those things and you specifically. I just unfortunately don't have as much information as I would like to have, and I just know that you are always loved, and we all love you, and I'm always praying for you, and yeah, and I really believe in you. I know you're a fantastic person. So I love you, and it's a long video.